What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Show. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? We are back with GreedFall. Kind of giving you a chance to kind of pause and read these couple sort of codex entries, whatever. Yeah, codex is exactly the term. All right, there we go. Ah, God, I feel good. Had a nice lunch. Had like a ribeye or something in the fridge, you know. Nice, grilled it up. Nicely seasoned. See, I don't know about a lot of people. I love garlic on my meat. That's something that I really go heavy on when I season. Okay, so we need to find the charlatan. Can't find the other. I know don't we have another quest? Yeah, find that smuggler, but whatever. Let's help out the Bridge Alliance first, because I mean, really, I'm not. I don't want to punish the heretics because I'm with the other side of Ptolemy that's saying, hey, maybe if we're nicer to people, maybe they'll be willing to see our religion and maybe join us. You know, who knew? And if you don't want to be a part of our religion, well, that's up to you.
Celebrate the miracle of science. Won't believe
Oops.
All these blue bloods, they aren't worth tuppence.
Move away. Things are about to get dicey.
If you can't tell by Kurt's hat, I gave him a new hat. Oh, did we pick up a cape? Oh, can I wear a cape? I want to wear a cape. Ah. Oh, I thought we picked up a cape. Oh, that's what it meant by old leather cape. Actually, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look garbage, but nah, I like my fancy clothes. Was I saying earlier? Right, I was talking about how I like to douse my food in garlic. A lot of people think that's odd. I really like I really like garlic. I like I don't know. I like that kind of food. I like savory, like I really like onions and stuff, diced, grilled, just basically however you want to cook onions. I love onions.
Citizens, I present to you Panacea, the absolute cure of everything.
Yep, that's the definition of panacea.
And even an open wound. This potion heals all of that. And more still. This little phial is the product of years of research and intensive labor. I hear you asking if this remedy can heal one from the Malachor. Alas, not yet. But
So it's not a panacea.
is legitimate. I am so close to finding the cure. But the Malachor isn't the only ailment causing you to suffer. Not true? Then don't miss out on this chance and give yourself a healthy and energized life. Rejoice! A phial only costs a few coins, and well worth it to make your life shiny and new again.
Does it really heal everything, your potion?
Everything. Absolutely everything. Except the Malachor, of course. That being said, it is known that those in top health resist the Malachor best of all. Then don't throw away this chance. Think of all the pains that this potion could help you avoid.
You are right. It's a deal. I'm gonna take two.
There's a man that knows a good deal when he sees one. Hurry now. There won't be enough for everyone.
There he is. He's our man, no doubt.
His speech is well polished. I even feel like buying some.
And if we had a word with him, I wonder if he'll serve us the same routine.
Ah, you're finally tempted.
In all honesty, I haven't made up my mind yet. I want to be certain that I'm not dealing with a charlatan.
In this day and age, I can't blame you. What might I do to convince you?
Will you drink one of your potions to prove your good faith?
Of course. I take a little sip every morning. But as I'm in perfect health, you won't be able to verify the improvement in my condition. But if it helps you make up your mind, give me just a moment. There now. As you see, I am still in excellent condition.
You're leaning over. I don't know if...
That vial out of your pocket. Nothing proves that it's the same potion that you sell to your clients.
As a man of science, I consider skepticism a remarkable quality. But in your case, it is not skepticism, but blindness.
We need to steal one of these potions and force him to drink it.
Brilliant idea, Kurt. Let's take a look at his cart.
I was about to say, I mean, he's kind of like leaning over already. I mean, he could, he could be in, terrible pain, but we wouldn't know. Because, if something, you drank something that's going to cause you to double over. Unless, like I said, if you're already leaning over, I wouldn't know.
Have you finally made up your mind?
Stop pursuing the subject.
I happen to have a vial of your medicine. Would you be willing to drink it in front of us? To prove that there is no risk?
This bullying is trying my patience. I'm beginning to suspect that you might be working for a rival.
You refuse to taste it?
You might have put something in it to cause me harm or further disgrace.
No, look. The vial is still sealed. It comes straight from your stock.
And you dare challenge me when you have just admitted to being a thief?
Come now. You can see for yourself that I'm gladly returning your vial, so that you might drink it in front of witnesses. This might help to dissipate my doubts, as well as those of these brave folk.
Yes, no, you don't have the right.
Damnation. He got away. He can't have gone far.
Find him before his head ends up on a spike.
Think back to the note that
I feel like we could have actually
he won't leave the city.
stood there and actually have to work our way through that dialogue instead of just deciding, show him the vial, and then he runs away. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like wishing that there was like a little more to that. In all honesty, this quest so far has been pretty straightforward. I gotta figure out how to go up. There we go.
You again? What are you doing in my room?
I'm not the only one that has found you. Have you seen the mob that is gathering in the street?
I'm neither deaf nor blind. By the spheres. Why didn't I leave the city while there was still time?
The Alliance ambassador is quite unsettled by your commerce, and he is the one who sent me.
Sahin. Him again. Ruining my career wasn't enough for him. He's the very reason I had to leave the Alliance. And here I am, playing the part of the potion maker. Me, who was once a respected member of the Academy of Al-Sad.
Dr. Sahin warned me that you were an imposter.
That doesn't surprise me, coming from him. I was a master alchemist. I understand if you don't believe me after all that, but I have a number of documents to prove it. I would still be one if Sahin hadn't set off a chain of machinations to disgrace me.
Why does Sahin bear you such hatred?
I wasn't fortunate enough to oppose certain great minds at the Academy, to criticize their methodology. I saw them inflicting torture on sick prisoners, making them drink the most vile poisons. To find a remedy to the Malachor, they won't hesitate to kill. I could not keep my silence.
It is for an act of courage that you fell from grace and earned Sahin's hatred. Are you not ashamed to have poisoned those poor souls?
These potions are not harmful. That is to say that they don't contain any harmful ingredients.
But you could just as easily produce real healing potions. So why don't you?
You don't understand. I fled, but I haven't put a stop to my own research. This potion is an attempt to create in those who drink it a resistance to the Malachor.
So you manipulate people to use as experimental fodder? That is completely unethical.
I don't have a choice, but it does not harm them, I assure you.
If this potion were inoffensive, then why wouldn't you drink it when I offered it to you?
I ran tests on myself for such a long time that I ended up becoming intolerant to it. A small sip of this mixture provokes in me now a violent reaction. I mean, the mob would have been furious in any case, but a normal dose, I assure you, is without risk.
Your methods don't seem so different than those of your colleagues.
I was about to say.
Torture people. And this potion only has side effects in high doses.
Perhaps, but you're hurting innocents. I cannot let your commerce continue.
So, what are you going to do with me, sir?
And see, this is the thing that I actually like, that I really like about this game, is how no one really seems to be a good guy, necessarily, you know. Like, this starts off cleanly, you know, Sahin is the grieved party of this, but now you're finding, well, Sahin actually might be kind of an asshole. And this guy, while he's doing some questionable things, he's trying to do good, but I guess you could argue the Bridge Alliance is trying to do the same thing. You know, I'm going to help him.
I'm going to help you leave the city, but you must promise never to return.
I swear it.
Very well then. I need to first get you away from those who want to see you hanged.
If we can't find a way to sneak out of here discreetly, we will have to confront the populace.
I haven't lost hope that I'll be able to help them hear reason.
It would be better if I remain hidden while waiting.
Yeah, I think helping him get out is the... Yeah. It's like I was saying, I kind of like how there's really no... There's no clean-cut good guy. You can argue that somebody's a little more right or wrong or good or bad than other people. But no, as far as I've seen, nobody's an out-and-out good guy. I kind of like that.
Please listen, I beg you.
If you want him to reimburse you, get in the back of the line like everyone else.
Believe me, I understand why you're angry.
Me? It's not money I want. That charlatan tried to poison us. I couldn't give a flying pile of dung for your pretty words. We're gonna hang him high. And you too, if you're an accomplice.
How absurd.
Am I not like a noble or something?
End to his operation.
Well, in that case, help us catch him so he can be punished like he deserves.
He's trapped. He'll have to come out someday, you'll see.
Technically, he's got plenty of food and, you know, he's got plenty of food and drink in there. Technically, he's fine. Okay, so I can order their dispersion, I can propose a settlement, or I can speak of a horrible side effect.
And so you plan on waiting here? I do not advise that. All of you drank one of those potions, am I right?
You're right, we did. Tasted of death. I did nothing for me ulcer.
As for me, I only drank a few drops. And my tooth is aching more than ever.
Alas, you need only drink a mere drop for it to provoke paralysis.
Paralysis?
A terrible side effect. The symptoms appear sooner or later. No one is spared from them.
What? Are we doomed then?
Everyone. Except, of course, those going to see a doctor to receive the antidote.
What are we gonna do? The doctor costs a fortune. We're all gonna end up like statues!
Listen to me, everyone. I know a good doctor that will help us. Come on, follow me!
That charlatan will just have to wait to get what's coming to him.
The alchemist is now far from danger, at least.
Go and tell him the good news.
And see, I could have found a way out discreetly, or like, you know, I did that. I decided to use negotiation to get out. Like I said, I'm gonna try and do a lot more of that. I'm gonna try and do a lot more like using my words and cunning to get out of situations. And like I said, I'm not gonna be above lying to people.
So, did you find a way to get me out of this hornet's nest?
I persuaded the mob to disperse calmly and without a fight. The way is free.
Very well. What power of persuasion? They didn't seem of a mind to hear reason from me.
You are free. Climb into your carriage and leave Serene immediately. Let me deal with Dr. Sahin.
I owe you my life, sir. I will be eternally in your debt.
I remind you to never step foot here again.
I have no desire to return anyway. Farewell.
Yeah, let's just go directly back. Save me some time.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade.
I tracked down your man near the Coin Guard barracks.
Finally. Did you capture him?
Let's just say I put an end to his activities. His reputation in Serene is forever tarnished. Matters turned out a little more complicated than anticipated.
I could confront him, but that would hurt my reputation with them. And like I said, I'm playing the diplomat, so I'm going to try and be a little... What's the term? Cautious with the truth?
He managed to slip through our fingers.
Once again. That man is part eel.
We followed his trail to the Coin Guard Tavern, but he had already escaped. All the same, you have nothing to fear. He will never step foot in Serene again.
We'll eventually catch up with him and deliver the punishment that his crimes deserve. Governor Burhan will be happy to learn that such an amiable legate will soon cross the shores of Tir Fredi. Thank you for your help, Excellency, and allow me to offer you this modest gift for your voyage.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
I got a good amount of money for that, too. I really didn't even do anything. Alright, so I've already got firearms, you got traps, divine magic ring. Use of magic rings. Yeah, but I'm not playing a magic character, so I'm not going into any of that. One-handed heavy weapons. Boost my damage with that. Damage with firearms. Set traps. Yeah, I like fast traps. That's actually neat, so I can set them while dodging. I don't think I don't get an attribute point until level 4, and I don't get a talent until level 5. And yeah, we're good. Alright, that went well. Okay. So we have our side quest. Coin Guard merchandise. Let's go try and find the smuggler. Yeah, right there. You kind of got a, like I said, you got a glimpse of the character I'm kind of playing. Yeah, I guess I could have confronted the Bridge Alliance on their lie, but like I said, I'm playing that. If I'm gonna try and maintain relations with everyone, there's no real point in pissing them off. So we have to talk to Vasco.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco,
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men had free shore leave when we were at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't...
Didn't I already ask that question? Oh, who are his close friends? There we go.
Does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Laura.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking? Maybe clandestine passengers?
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Ptolemy's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Nords. No one else may enter.
So I have to find our way in. Interesting.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin, by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
And I know we just talked about smugglers, but let's ask about smuggling.
To ask before we leave.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Excuse me.
If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 3D. He's placed guards where
That kind of what we're doing?
before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse and noted on the manifest will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office.
Why are you having that conversation in front of Vasco? Just saying.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nord from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Yeah, you'll find out something kind of interesting about how the whole sea-gifted thing in a bit.
Tell me anything about our destination, the island of Tier 3D.
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor meant.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
See, the whole thing with the knots and no, that wasn't one. I was about to reveal information that we'll find out naturally, and I want it to be a surprise. But no, I actually like Vasco, although he comes across a lot more clean cut and morally right than he's very much a I'm the captain of the ship. He's got a lot of honor. That's the word I was looking for. Because I was thinking he would be more like a Jack Sparrow, more of a rogue, not so much. And zones controlled by other factions. This zone is controlled by another faction than yours. Certain places are forbidden for you. A costume torso of the faction will allow you to trick the guards. You can also try the stealth approach, but if a guard spots you, it will result in a violent response and damage your reputation with this faction. And I do not have any armor or anything. I didn't want the world map. Alright, so we have the Harbor Master's office, which we can bust into, but it's not really going to help us to do so. And we also have the Knot Prison. So let's see if we can go to the prison. Yeah. We could try and sneak in there. There is a way, you can do this by stealth and try and do it that way. But there's an easier way to handle it.
And you were able to keep your mark hidden from them. They might let us in, unless we just offered them a drink. These sailors rarely refuse one.
I see where this is headed. If we drop a little soporific in their glasses, the way will be clear. I'll just need to find the proper ingredients, but it's doable.
And boom, there's another, subterfuge tactics. So we can get into the warehouse. But yeah, so we either need to use stealth or just clear cut those guys to get into the Harbor Master office. Or we can do a little something else. And again, I'll show you what that is in a second. But right now, let's see if we can get into this prison. Yeah. We could try and sneak in there. There is a way, you can do this by stealth and
You cannot pass. Only the Naughts have access to the prison.
Alright, well, that answers that question. Trying to see if I can get some intel into this back area. Alright, let's go stealth. We go up and over.
I've seen a few escapes in my time, but I never...
Are you the smuggler?
You snuck yourself in here just to ask me that question? If this is some sort of trick to get me to admit to some crime, you are truly twisted.
You can see for yourself that I'm no Nord. Come now. Are you the one I'm looking for?
I'm already locked up. What more do I risk? Yes, I am a smuggler. But I'm not the only one in this city.
I'm searching for a couple fleeing to Leme. They're trying to leave the city discreetly. Have they contacted you?
You certainly can't imagine I'm going to answer you without getting something in exchange. I don't really think of my clients as kin, but I'd never betray any of them for free.
For free.
You are. How about your freedom in exchange for your loyalty? Tell me where I can find them and I'll open this cage.
That works for me. Your two Telemites are hidden in a warehouse behind this very prison. They must be waiting for me. But you might want to be quick about it. If the Naughts get their hands on them, they'll find themselves in this same cage.
Thank you.
Anytime. And these doors? You're gonna open them, right?
Do I really have to? Can I not just
Lock.
I don't have the key.
Okay, I need to boost my lockpicking to be able to, but I also need to get into the smugglers, into the harbor master's office to get the key. And of course, the heretics are in the warehouse. Man, a lot of these quests are kind of overlapping. You know, so by knocking out these guys using a sleeping potion, I can get access to the warehouse where those guys are, and I can also put the equipment into the, or I can also put our cargo there. But I'm also going to need to boost my level to do that. I'm trying to think what I want to do first. Okay, let's help the Naught apprentice. See, I kind of like all this crossover between the quests, that by doing certain objectives and other quests, it can open the way in also other quests. It's kind of weird. And it could just be the technical limitations that they just didn't have enough to have all these areas to have, you know, all these different areas for the different side quests and whatever. But still, it's in a way, it actually, I think, works out better. Oh, that's a sailor's coat. That'll work.
Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guess, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
I need to be going. Farewell.
All right. You know, I'll be honest. What I was about to say is, by completing this quest, we can actually get Vasco to just change the we can just get Vasco to change the. I can't think what to call it. He'll change the oh my god, the manifest for us. There we go. But we can actually sneak in now because we have a sailor's coat, which provides us a disguise for the knots. Which everything was giving us stuff for the coin guard, but yeah, it's one of those that I actually think it's worth keeping all the stuff in your stuff in your inventory, especially if you kind of want to play a little more, like I said, a little more with subterfuge, like I am. And so now I've disguised myself as a knot. I should be able to enter the warehouse, at least if I understand this correctly.
Do you have any idea how to get in there without being noticed?
Let's take a look around the building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
Where is the manifest to be found?
I've already been to the port authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs.
Okay, I am going to save real quick, because I'm not sure if I need to say, hey, Kurt, maybe you should back off a little bit. I'm going to make a separate save file, because I'm not going to overwrite my thing, just in case I have issues with the recording. I've learned that problem one too many times. Let's try this. Oh, I got an autosave too. Cool. Okay, looks like they're leaving me alone. Okay, my companions. Okay, my companions. Okay, I don't have a high enough lockpicking skill. Okay, so basically they'll leave me alone, and it doesn't matter if my companions are dressed up or not. It matters if I am. Okay. Answers my question. And I need level 1 lockpicking to get in there. I Anything on that table? Nope. Keys to the harbor jail.
Here's the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
There we go. Now we need to clear out the guards to the warehouse, which we can do through violence, or we can knock them unconscious. Hell, they could probably sneak by him right now, but where's the fun in that? Plus, I actually want to see how that works. Actually, the sailor's coat's pretty good. Elemental resistance, magic resistance, and it's upgradable. God, but no, I'm going with form over function right now because I like the look of my my fancy high society clothes. Holy shit, it is hot in this room right now. When I get my new desk set up and everything, I'm planning on like really revamping my little office right now. You know, like I'm buying myself like a new bed because the one I had back in high school is completely shot to shit. Well, you know, I'm gonna buy myself a new bed. I've already got my new desks purchased and they've been delivered. I've just got to get everything cleared out so I can actually set them up. God, it's gonna be nice.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof, gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you, the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Thank you, lad.
There we go.
I need to be going.
Strange story.
Something isn't right here, I can feel it. We need to lift a veil on this.
So we get that little explanation of how, you know, we're going, something doesn't feel right here. But at the same time, really, we're trusting a guy that everyone says is a drunk. You know, we're trusting that, you know, we trusted that, that alchemist that, you know, Saheen isn't really as good of a guy as he's trying to play himself off as. Yeah, I feel like we take a lot of stuff at people, you know, I think we take a lot of stuff at face value. You know, I mean, it's also one of those, well, what else can we do? But still. And crafting bench. All right, let's just see right now. Craftsmanship allows you to upgrade. Again, read all that stuff. Yeah, none of this. You know, we can't upgrade our alchemist's rapier, but we can upgrade this. Basically, you know, we've got the guard, we have the pommel. It gives us visual and stat upgrades. It's something that we saw in the Technomancer. It was a neat idea. You know, I had fun really customizing things. I'm not sure how much I'm going to do of this like on camera, but I might if anybody... Love how I'm just... Oh, hey, you're disguised as a knot. And see, you can mess with visuals. It'll also boost armor and everything like that. Shoulders, straps. I like how it gives you that visual and gameplay sort of mixes. Really, all I can craft is potions. Don't think I can craft any traps yet. What consumables? I need that laced drink. Okay, so I have science 1, but I need a bottle of brandy and a sleeping potion. To craft the sleeping potion, I need hoof fungus. I can't even pronounce that. Can I pin this? No, I cannot. See if I can buy this at the shop.
You'll find all you... Welcome. It's such a pleasure to... Have you seen anything?
We'll buy... Can't buy any traps. Okay. Hoof fungus. I don't need that much. I think I only need like 2. I don't need that much beast essence, so we'll just buy 3 just in case. Bottle of brandy, or I could just out and out buy a sleeping potion, but I can craft it, and there we go. Should be good. I could sell a lot of that equipment that I don't need, but for now I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm basically going to try and make sure I always have a costume, you know, like 1 costume for every faction for sneaking purposes. Okay, so I can make the... Okay, I still need 1 other... I think I bought the wrong...
Welcome. It's such a... Have you seen it?
Yeah. Buy...
Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Okay, Hofungus Innonatus. I can't pronounce that. Boom, now we have a sleeping potion. Now we can craft laced drink. In GreedFall, a quest can usually be completed in several different ways. Tasade has more than 1 string into his bow. Cunning, persuasion, intuition, corruption, creating items from the crafting table will be some of the means available to you to reach your goals, to improve in... Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. My dog ran into the room.
Good day, tavern keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
I'm looking for a Naut, a young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malicor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
Has the Malicor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People are still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Oh, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
Maybe people are getting sick because you're leaving out giant hunks of meat and cheese like that. You should either, I don't know, keep it cool or jerky it or whatever.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man trees live there. Dragons,
Ents?
gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
Seriously, are there Ents? Well, we can ask about Constantine, but meh.
Goodbye.
We'll save that for the actual when we're ready to do that bit of the quest.
I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that.
Can he see? I mean, I assume, seeing that he's talking to him.
Disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what he was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
let me know, guys, because I'm curious about this. Do you guys prefer when I try and focus on like one quest at a time, or do you not mind it when I do stuff like this, where I'm kind of taking on 3 or 4 side quests all at once and kind of completing them as I go to the different areas? Like, is one just easier to follow? Do you, like I said, or do you? In my mind, I actually like doing side quests like this. It might be a little harder to follow, but at the same time, I feel like it's a lot more efficient. We get things done faster, so it doesn't be. So it isn't like an hour and a half of. Well, I guess this one might actually be an hour and a half, but it's not even longer of me doing one quest, then the next, then the next. When I can actually do something like this, where I'm kind of. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the port. Okay, I'll do all the side quest little chunks that are in the port, and then I'm going to go somewhere else. I like to link things together by location rather than quest. But again, it's like I said, that's entirely... It's why I'm asking what you'd rather see.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Like I was saying, I'm asking because I'd like to know what you guys would rather see, because I can do it either way.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact? It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
I mean, it is kind of dubious, but there's another fantasy guild that recruits in a pretty similar way, in all honesty. Probably from one of my favorite video game franchises, The Witchers. They, I'm not going to say it's not something that you ever see in the game, because I think it's referenced a few times, especially in the earlier ones. It's not so much in the third, but in the earlier games, I think it's mentioned a few times, but it's a much bigger portion if you read the novels. But the Witchers, upon completing a job, if they can't be paid in gold, sometimes they'll invoke, it's a law, I believe it's that which you have but do not know. It's basically men will return home to find their wife's pregnant, and then basically that child will then be owed to the Witchers, down the line as payment for their services, and that's how the Witchers grow in.
Sir, we were given orders to wait here with the merchandise.
You're going to have to wait. We need to find a way to clear the access to the warehouse.
that's the way the Witchers grow in numbers. It's the basic concept. And these knot contracts, kind of similar.
Sir, you still haven't found your cousin. As you
have no fear.
I'm still without.
Yeah. There we go.
But we will have to do without.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
Sir de Corsillion's a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little more.
And see, again, another area of kind of everyone kind of being scummy. I mean, you can argue that it's not the most ethical practice for the Knots, the way that they bring in people. But at the same time, they had the contract, they rendered services. It's the people who aren't okay with the price that are technically at fault here. It's kind of a, it's like I said, we're in some weird gray area that everyone here is kind of an asshole.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Excuse me.
We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
What will be your official title on Teofredi? Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more.
And you're going to keep an eye on us.
He also asked me to report to him on certain strategic observations. I am therefore required to take note of all events, chart the island and its resources, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more dangerous creatures of the island. Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an adventurer.
It's always a privilege to help, Master. I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news to Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
And that's the important part to him.
Selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
Yeah, like I said, everyone's kind of a piece of crap here. It's like I said, you could argue. I mean, with Vasco wanting Jonas back, I think there is some honesty there. It's like he said, you know, he's a Naut. They're family in that sense, and in a way, really, it's the only family that Jonas knows. I mean, when we go meet him, he'll actually tell us something like that. He's like, I don't know these people that are my parents. I've been with the Nauts since I was 5. They're my family.
This document mentions another property, a warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
It's an interesting sort of dilemma. Huh, I opened that and I don't think I got anything from it. Alright, so we could run around and I think we'd have to fight some guards to get in there and free Jonas, but...
Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
Let's just try to remain discreet.
We need to go down. Ah, around here. There we go.
Sir de Sade, what are you doing here?
I've come looking for your son. The Nauts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Nauts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine?
Okay, so we can reason with him using our charisma, or also threaten him, or tell him what. I can't pronounce his name. I can't. French names are hard.
Ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble.
Doesn't matter. It's a contract.
Signed it if I had known.
You should have thought of that before.
Were the terms not clear?
Have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Nauts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness will be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in the story, don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You're not leaving me with a choice.
Very well. Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Nauts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.
There we go. We boost our reputation with the congregation. Alright, let's go find Jonas.
Who are you?
My name is de Sade. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes. Even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seemed so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Nauts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
There we go. I think that I think that quest had some. I think that was the best way to handle that. That way, the kid's back with his family. Yeah. Everything's right with the world. All right. So yeah, we also could have gone this way. Probably would have had to fight it out with these guards. But this was another route we could have taken. Alright, and let's go talk to Vasco, but I am going to change into my sailor's coat just because I want the ability to sneak back into the prison pretty easily without having to go around back, because we do have the keys for that. And like I said earlier, if you didn't want to sneak into the harbor master's office to change the registry or the shipping information, you could have just completed this quest and then asked Vasco to change it for you. So then all you would have to worry about is getting shit in the warehouse. So again, it's a way of kind of mixing quests together and kind of letting you kind of solve your own way of getting things done.
As you
have no fear, I will bring him.
Mike,
blah blah blah.
Jonas is back on ship. I have you to thank, I imagine.
You do. It's a rather sad affair, and though solved, leaves a broken family behind.
All we can do is plot a course. No one tells the wind what to do. I do thank you. I didn't think you'd go to so much trouble for a cabin boy. Your actions bring you honor.
Alright, so alright, boosted our reputation with the knots. We got level 3. Okay, so we can't ask him for anything else because we've already changed the manifest. Let's see here. So skills, do I have a skill point? Yes, I have a skill point. What to do? That we could boost more damage. You know what? I think I want to do more damage with blades. There we go. Actual equipment is good. I don't, okay, yeah, I don't have any points there. Can we talk to Kurt?
Do you need something?
I wondered if you ever felt lonely.
I always do. Why, do you want to rectify this?
I hope to have kept you good company for all these years. After all, we were always together.
And I valued your friendship. But I thought you were referring to another kind of company. And to be honest, you and Constantine aren't exactly my type. Anything else?
I must leave you.
Okay, I was like, he not gonna follow me? Alright, yeah, we could go talk to Constantine, but I want to finish this video up by completing these last couple quests. So first things first, let's free the smuggler, fulfill our part of the deal. We'll leave because we're dressed up. We can just walk in.
Thank you, my lord. And don't worry about me. I'll slip outside without being seen.
There we go. Problem solved.
Hello? What can I do for you?
We're the relay. You're dismissed.
Finally! We were starting to grow moss. Courage, me hearties. The path is clear.
Oh, you're kidding me. I didn't even need to... Oh, I didn't even need to craft that drink. Oh, that kind of sucks. I believe there's other ways of doing this. Like you could sneak around, and you know you could do. There are other ways to complete this. But, okay, my way worked, I suppose. I'm a little PO'd that I crafted that, you know, I spent that money and crafted that sleeping potion, but whatever. Maybe it'll come in handy somewhere else down the road.
Who is there?
May the Illuminated save us. Did the smuggler send you?
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison, but revealed to me your hiding place.
Oh, the traitor!
Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition, then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Thélème so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it would provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of Saint Matthias? The one who returned to Thélème after traveling with his master?
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Teofredi, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of Saint Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Teofredi is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, Saint Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the Illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth, which convinced Saint Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white, and there is no doubt about it. The original was written in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could forget what you have discovered, perhaps.
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the sacred texts of St. Lucius. We were even ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
It served no purpose. It's our lives they are after.
I see. Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
I could have a word with the good Dr. Sahin, the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. If he can be persuaded to offer you asylum, you would be saved.
Your goodness honors you. May the Illuminated forever light your path.
If I manage to convince the ambassador, you'll need to refrain from that sort of blessing. Stay here. I'll be back.
See, I was curious if I could help them by going to see the ambassador. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. So I need to tell him that, hey, the coast is clear. You can go. You can nice and easily go, there we go. Put on my fancy clothes. And now my dog's running around barking at people.
Well now, can we get going?
The way is clear. It's time to get going.
Do your best to be quick and quiet about it. You won't have much time to move it.
Don't you be worrying now. We're off.
The warehouse is at the end to the right there. You can't miss it.
Move out. Quick steps.
There we go. Oh, okay, so we probably could have... Yeah, we probably could have found our way back. Maybe. I'm not sure if that would have led us all the way around. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how to get... how to find that back way around that we could have just snuck into the warehouse, but... whatever. I guess it doesn't matter now. Oh, crap. And grab what we can. Do a little bit of climbing.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade.
I would like to talk to you about a rather delicate matter.
I am listening.
A couple of historians have made a recent discovery concerning Mateus, the founder of the mythical Teleme. And it seems that this is not to the liking of the Illuminated, or at least his more fervent subjects.
These sinister hypocrites are going to want to burn them at the stake.
Without a doubt. And that's why these poor people are begging you
Ow,
to offer
sorry.
them asylum.
Kick my desk.
We are willing. Where are they to be found at this time?
At the port of Serene. They were hoping to stow away discreetly on a vessel to Al-Sad.
Very well. I shall send an escort immediately to take them somewhere safe.
Well, that was easier than I thought it would be.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
We owe you our lives. We are eternally grateful.
It was nothing. I hope you won't have too much difficulty adapting to your new country.
If you would allow me, I would like to give you this. It's not much, but it is all that we possess.
Farewell.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burning pyre.
It would seem that I'm not the only one with a tender heart.
Okay, you know what? Kurt's really growing on me. It's kind of blunt and kind of prickly, but at the end of the day, I think he's a nice guy.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
It pains me to inform you that the heretics you seek have fled.
Oh, yeah, it really pains me.
How could that possibly have happened?
Of course we're gonna lie.
These renegades have found protection with the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. I would not have been able to capture them without risking a diplomatic incident that my uncle would have condemned.
The bridge. I thought as much. Those heretics have turned to them. But I had hoped that you might intervene quickly enough to stop them. It is truly regrettable. We have nothing else to do but pray that the Luminous might shield us from their lies.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
Oh, and our reputation actually increased. Oh man, lying is great. Remember, kids. And that's just the kind of character that I'm playing. I'm gonna, in a way, try and please everyone through lying. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason that's not popping up as a... Not popping up as a... Oh, it's infirm Barrack Quartermaster and New Serene. Okay, okay. So yeah, then it's the Great Departure. Okay, so we have to wait till we actually get to Tia Frede to actually finish that quest. Well then, we will find Constantine and Constantine. I'm going with Constantine, but I could be wrong. And head off to, or I presume head off to Tia Frede in the next video. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this little look at really how a lot of the quests and everything work in this game. If you want to answer my question of, like I said, like exactly how you want to see me complete the quests, I am always happy for input. You can tell me down in the comments. Please also remember to like and subscribe if you're not already. All those things, you know, engagement and subscriptions and everything really help the channel. Other than that, go follow me on any of the social media platforms that are listed in the description. Like, comment, not already, please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more next time. Until then, my name's AJ Gels, 7th Game Channel. I'm out.